Hi, and welcome to session 9, engaging in listening and note-taking. So let me ask you a question. If you were to look at your day, where do you spend your most time, in what role? As a listener or as an actual speaker? For most of you, I predict that you're in the role of listening. You're a student, so you're being in a classroom with a lecture, or even right now, you're doing the listening while I do all the talking. And even at work, potentially, your role is one to listen to customers, listen to your boss, those types of things. And so when you think about that, and then you think about the training and expertise we actually are ever given in listening. I mean, there isn't a public listening class, right? There's public speaking, but not public listening. We may find that our strengths in that field are not where we want them to be, because we can fake it. Let's be honest, we can fake listening. Looks like we're paying attention, when really our mind is doing anything it wants. So that's why it's a little easier to fake listening and harder to fake when you're speaking. So that is the importance of note-taking, helps us to engage in listening in the material, but then we have to do something with those notes. We have to interact with them and make it meaningful, or really those notes don't have the impact that they really should. And then the other question you may have when it comes to note-taking is, what do I even take notes on? Do I take notes on everything they say? Do I just wait for them to tell me to take notes? Did I even remember paper and pencil today? And so you have to be serious about it. You know, you have to say, I do want to learn this information and this material, and I'm going to give it my best shot. So let's take a look at what our best shot might be in this session. So session 9, here we go. There are a lot of things, overview items. Core 5 is going to be due. That's your note-taking assessment. So you really want to be familiar with this and pay close attention. This is an overview item talking about some note-taking strategies. We're specifically featuring mind mapping, Cornell notes, outlining, which is probably something you may be familiar with but hated doing, and then 3-column math notes as an option as well. So this is Cornell note paper that will come in handy for an assignment in a minute. Again, overview item, listen to the chapter. And please watch this video on mind mapping that may be unfamiliar to you. It's a great planning tool, like if you had a project and you were thinking it, even a studying tool, like you were looking at the book and you were trying to take notes from the book. And it can work in a classroom as well, or it may be a neat way to take the notes that you took in a class and then transfer them to a mind map, because it's colorful and it can be engaging. And the engagement of doing that is helping to solidify that information in your mind. So take a look at that video, because you're going to be making a choice this week on what note-taking system you're going to try. Under session activities, we definitely introduce one, and that is part of Core 5, Part 1, and it's about learning about how to take effective notes through the Cornell note-taking system. So you're going to have to watch the video and take notes while you listen, and the duration of the video itself is about 15 minutes long. So remember that Cornell note paper that I showed you up above, you can type into that as you are watching this video lecture, and the lecture itself is on Cornell notes and on the importance of them and on their value, their history, but really their value. Not just taking a photograph of a lecture, meaning that was your note taking, but really the idea of note making, right? That you engage with it, you go back to it, you manipulate it, and you're going to see this graph that shows you how important it is if you just interact with your notes within 24 hours of when you were exposed to the information, how much your memory goes up. All right, and then you will submit that. So you're going to watch the video, you take the notes, and there's your submission link. And that's part 1 of Core 5. Then you'll take the wrap-up and chapter quiz. And then you will finish the second half of Core 5, which is really to take one of the systems that we share with you in this session and pick one and apply it to another class that you're taking, and then you submit it here. And so you're going to take, maybe you'll do mind mapping, maybe you'll do Cornell notes, maybe you'll do outlining or the 3-column math, and you will submit them at this link. Now there's nice information that says I'll take it in my at my office if you absolutely don't have a means to submit them electronically, but I'm going to say I really want you to submit them electronically. This is an online class, and the more savvy and comfortable you get with operating in that environment, I think that's very, very important as well. And so some of you have already talked to me about this, but Cam Scanner is totally free. It's an app. You're really taking pictures of your notes, turn them into PDF, and then you can upload them here. Happy to help you with that. No problem there whatsoever, but that's where I encourage you to do. All right, let's just take a quick look at this assignment. Remember, if there is a reflection part, I'm going to talk about it, you would need to make a copy of it yourself. See, there's a note-taking reflection form here. So again, this is an assignment where you're going to have to make a copy for yourself in your name, including the assignment. And then, of course, put your information in a different color font. All right, so you've already done part 1. That was watching that video. So now we're looking at part 2, and you have some options. You can do lecture notes or reading notes, because some of you may say, well, I'm taking all online classes. Then you would do reading notes, okay? Or you can go to another class and complete this a live lecture. I prefer that you take it with any class other than ACA. If ACA, this is the only class you're taking, email me and get my permission. Make sure, because then you're going to have to do reading notes, okay? With that, if you choose to do that. But most of you probably have another class somewhere that you can apply this to, just that it has meaning beyond that. But if not, let me know. So you're going to pick a system, and you're going to use the system. You're going to go take notes. So in that regard, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? And you let me know what option you picked, whether you listened to a live lecture or whether you did it off of a book and something you were reading. And you're going to fill all this in, and you're going to reflect on why this method worked or didn't work for you. And the more elaborate you are, the more detail you give me, the better. I can appreciate whether the system works for you, and whether you'd use it again in the future is important to you. And then this, of course, is the rubric, how you will be graded on this core assessment. So that is Core 5, both parts 1 and part 2, and happy note making.